Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Haspel, poised to become first female CIA chief, ran controversial black site prison. President Donald Trump announced Tuesday he will nominate Gina Haspel to replace Mike Pompeo as director of the CIA, a move that could resurface concerns about the longtime intelligence official's stance on torture. Haspel, if confirmed by the Senate, would become the first woman to lead the CIA, a milestone Trump touted in announcing his plans. Gina, by the way, who I know very well, who I've worked with very closely, will be the first woman director of the CIA, Trump told reporters gathered outside the White House. She's an outstanding person, who also I have gotten to know very well. The remarks followed a tweet in which Trump announced that Haspel would replace Pompeo at the CIA, while the intelligence chief would take over for Rex Tillerson at the State Department. Haspel, who served as Pompeo's number 2 at the CIA, joined the agency in 1985. During her tenure, she controversially ran a black site prison in Thailand at which terrorism suspects reportedly were subjected to harsh interrogation tactics, including waterboarding. Trump's selection of Haspel, whose appointment to the position of deputy director of the CIA was met with opposition by some lawmakers, prompted legislators to raise questions over her record on interrogation tactics. The torture of detainees in U.S. custody during the last decade was one of the darkest chapters in American history, Senate Armed Services Chairman John McCain, Republican Arizona, said in a statement Tuesday. Ms. Haspel needs to explain the nature and extent of her involvement in the CIA's interrogation program during the confirmation process. Former CIA Director John Brennan, who tapped Haspel to serve as Deputy Director of Operations in 2013, responded to news of her selection Tuesday by praising her wealth of experience. He also acknowledged her role in carrying out controversial intelligence gathering practices. She was involved in a very controversial program, and I know that the Senate confirmation process will look at that very closely, but Gina Haspel has a lot of integrity, Brennan told MSNBC. She has tried to carry out her duties at the CIA to the best of her ability even when the CIA was asked to do some very difficult things in very challenging times. George Little, a former CIA and Pentagon spokesman during the Obama administration, alluded to the brewing confirmation battle while praising Haspel's record of service. She is a true intelligence professional and widely respected inside the CIA, Little told Politico. Her immediate challenge is to prepare for a series of very tough questions at her confirmation hearing. Robert Litt, former general counsel to the Director of National Intelligence, said there is no question the controversy will come up at her confirmation hearing, but argued Haspel should not be penalized for carrying out programs introduced by senior government officials. I've also been long of the view, and I've said this publicly before, that to the extent that there's blame to be laid for what was done in the CIA's rendition and interrogation program, that blame should lie at the feet of the political level people who ordered the program and not the CIA officers who carried it out, Litt said. Pompeo voiced support for Trump's decision to tap Haspel to replace him atop the CIA in a statement released Tuesday. I am proud of the work we have done on behalf of America and know that the agency will continue to thrive under the leadership of Gina Haspel, Pompeo said. Trump voiced support for waterboarding as a means of gathering intelligence last year, telling ABC News that government officials had to fight fire with fire to counter terror threats. Martin Matuszak and Daniel Libman contributed to this report. Trump: I'm looking very strongly at Kudlow to replace Cohn. President Donald Trump said Tuesday he is looking very strongly at financial analyst Larry Kudlow to replace Gary Cohn as his top economic advisor, citing Kudlow's support for utilizing trade tariffs as a negotiating tactic with other countries as an appealing factor in the decision. I'm looking at Larry Kudlow very strongly. "I've known him a long time," Trump told reporters outside the White House. Cohn resigned as National Economic Council director last week amid a battle with other administration officials over Trump's plan to impose steel and aluminum tariffs on other countries. The president indicated Tuesday that Kudlow was in favor of his strategy to use the duties to leverage more favorable deals for the U.S. "We don't agree on everything, but in this case, I think it's good. I want a divergent opinion," the president said. He now has come around to believing in tariffs as also a negotiating point. Kudlow has been widely seen as a leading candidate for the role, despite his criticism of Trump's decision to impose a 10% tariff on aluminum and 25% tariff on steel imports. One senior administration official told Politico Monday that the selection could be formalized within 24 hours but that the decision had not yet been finalized. The announcement came shortly after Trump announced on Twitter that CIA Director Mike Pompeo would replace Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State, the latest in a series of prominent staffing changes for the Trump administration. Trump said Tuesday he is also speaking to many others in selecting who will become the administration's top economic advisor but added that Larry has a very good chance. Kudlow, a CNBC contributor and on-air personality, previously served in the Ronald Reagan administration as an associate director of economics and planning for the Office of Management and Budget. Trump body man Johnny McEntee leaving White House for campaign. President Donald Trump's personal aide and body man John McEntee, known within the West Wing simply as Johnny, is leaving the White House and taking a position on Trump's re-election campaign, the campaign announced Tuesday. McEntee is the latest member of Trump's original inner circle, which included communications director Hope Hicks and bodyguard Keith Schiller, to leave the White House. An administration official confirmed that McEntee was abruptly escorted out of the White House on Monday, but did not know why. Another official said he would be mailed his belongings. The Wall Street Journal reported Tuesday that McEntee's departure was triggered by a security issue. The move comes at a time of intense turbulence within the West Wing and throughout the administration. Trump announced Tuesday morning that he was replacing Secretary of State Rex Tillerson with CIA Director Mike Pompeo, and also said he is considering CNBC pundit and outside economic advisor Larry Kudlow to succeed outgoing National Economic Director Gary Cohn. McEntee, a former University of Connecticut quarterback who joined the Trump campaign as a volunteer in 2015, has been a regular presence by Trump's side in the White House. John McEntee, who was a personal aide to President Trump in the 2016 campaign and the White House, will also rejoin the Trump campaign as a senior advisor for campaign operations, the campaign said in a statement on Tuesday morning. McEntee will be based in Washington. The campaign also announced that Gina Haspel, who served as a spokeswoman for Trump in 2016 and remains a frequent Trump surrogate on cable news, will join the campaign as a senior advisor. As we build out our operations for the 2018 midterm elections and the 2020 re-election campaign, we are pleased to welcome back two outstanding members of our 2016 team, campaign manager Brad Parscale said in a statement. We need the help of proven leaders such as Katrina and John to promote the president's growing portfolio of achievements across the country. Andrew Restussa contributed to this report. Trump hit sounds to me like Russia was behind UK nerve agent attack. President Donald Trump said Tuesday that it appears that Russia was behind the attempted assassination of a former Russian spy in Britain, but he stopped short of directly condemning the Kremlin until we get the facts straight. It sounds to me like it would be Russia based on all of the evidence they have. I don't know if they've come to a conclusion, Trump told reporters outside the White House, referring to an assessment from British authorities that Russia was likely behind the attack. As soon as we get the facts straight, if we agree with them, we will condemn Russia or whoever it may be. On Monday, Prime Minister Theresa May said it was highly likely the Kremlin was behind the attempted murder of former Russian double agent Sergei Skripal. Skripal and his daughter were attacked last week in southern England with a nerve agent and remain in critical condition. Trump said he will be speaking with May sometime Tuesday about the incident. It is now clear that Mr. Skripal and his daughter were poisoned with a military-grade nerve agent of the type developed by Russia, May said, adding that the attack was either directly or indirectly carried out by Russia. On Monday, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders declared the Trump administration's fullest condemnation of the attempted assassination but did not join May in blaming the Russian government for the act. "Look, we've been monitoring the incident closely, take it very seriously," Sanders said. "The use of a highly lethal nerve agent against UK citizens on UK soil is an outrage. The attack was reckless, indiscriminate and irresponsible. We offer the fullest condemnation, and we extend our sympathy to the victims and their families and our support to the UK government. We stand by our closest ally in the special relationship that we have." May set a midnight deadline for the Kremlin to explain how a Russian nerve agent came to be used on British soil, but Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov dismissed the demand and instead insisted the UK comply with international norms by providing Russia with a sample of the chemical used in the attack. "We have already made a statement that it's all nonsense," Lavrov said, after being challenged by a reporter to rule out Russia's involvement in the attack. "We have nothing to do with this." Skripal, a retired Russian military intelligence officer, was jailed for 13 years by Russia in 2006 for spying for Britain. He was one of 4 prisoners released by Moscow as part of a spy swap in 2010.